Yo guys, what is up? Welcome back to the new video. I'm the Casual Racing Gamer, and today we are going to Deep Forest Raceway in reverse. This is actually the first time I'm racing in this track in reverse. Never done it before, and it has been torturous. It has been a terrible night of sim racing for me, and we are going to talk about how we deal with things like that. So I got knocked down back to a B level, and it was just spiraling down and down and down and down. My finishes were like, I was in an A lobby and it just last, before last, and it was just going. And how do we deal with that, right? It definitely affects us. So this race, I'm starting in P10, and this was actually right after a win. After getting knocked down so many times, I finally was able to take a win, and that's usually when I take a win, when I get knocked down to B, and I'm with drivers of my own, what I like to say, my own level of driving. So here we are. In reverse, coming into turn one, taking the outside, leaving room, and we are going to talk about how we deal with those times when we are just suffering, when we have those terrible nights of sim racing. And let me tell you, as a casual racer, I have plenty of those bad nights that just continually spiral down, and it's like nothing we do can get us out of it. So, you know, what do I do when that happens? Do I continue racing? Do I continue just beating myself down, or should we just pack it up for the night, come back another day? Now, I have two different opinions on this. Now, again, this is a new track I was racing, right, in reverse. So it was taking me a while to get used to it. And I come from the school of a lot of accidents, a lot of incidents are avoidable, and the only person to really blame is ourselves. You know, a lot of people like to blame other drivers for bad driving, or you know, getting punted, or, you know, I can't do well in this race because no one's letting me do well because everyone is doing this and doing that and doing this. Well, I always blame myself for mistakes, for accidents. Even when I get hit from other cars, I blame myself for putting myself in situations that I need to be better at. I need to not put myself in situations, or handle situations better. So what happens is, when I just keep having terrible races, and you know, I am a king of mistakes as well. So, you know, I make mistakes, I hit other cars, I brake late. The more I learn a track, you know, hopefully I improve and get better, but I make a ton of mistakes myself. We all make mistakes, and I'm sure that every single one of you make mistakes. Every single one of you has hit other cars, other drivers, not on purpose. And when we do that, you know, if you're a clean driver and your intention is not to wreck someone, it makes you feel bad, right? So, you know, after I had all these races through the night, I come back, you know, when I'm done, and it just sticks in my head. I can't get it out of my head. I'm like, oh, I feel bad for this, I feel bad for that. You know, this guy thinks I probably did this on purpose, or I hit him here on purpose, and I never intentionally hit someone. Even when drivers really aggressively, you know, I know, try to take me out on purpose. And let me tell you, it's not really often where, you know, as you move up in lobbies, where they're actually trying to take you out on purpose like they are in lower lobbies. But it's kind of like, even if, like, I never take it back out on someone else. I always still continue to do my race, no matter how mad I am. I try not to purposely take out another driver, even if I know they're coming at me all the time. I still try to race my race. So what do I mean by staying out of trouble? So in this race, and this is, you know, this is me improving now. This was me just continuing to go on and on and on and on and on, and adjust myself after each race, thinking what I did wrong, how I can improve, not just for my own driving, but for drivers around me, to help them not hit me or me hit them. So the thing here is, you know, is I had to lose some aggression. I had to let cars pass me. I had to leave more room. And a big thing, you know, as I'm driving, I'm trying to analyze, you know, where am I going wrong? Where am I making mistakes? Why am I getting hit? And I think it's because, you know, one of the things I analyzed was I'm giving cars too much room where they are going to come in and try to take that spot. So, and then when I try to turn down low, they're trying to squeeze themselves in there. So I have to make the decision, either give them enough room and stay on the outside of a turn, or I need to really close that inside where they don't have enough room to get in there. Now, when I'm behind a car, and I don't think everyone drives this way, but when I'm behind a car, if the front of my car does not reach out where they can see the front of my car through their window, I'm assuming they don't see me. So I'm going to actually brake early, and I'm not going to try to overtake them in a spot like that. I'm not going to try to squeeze in there. I'm going to kind of let up, being like they don't know I'm here. Now, a lot of cars don't really think that way, and a lot of drivers don't think that way, and they just think if they see an opening there, they're going to squeeze in there. If they can get the front of their car in there, they're going to come in there. So, you know, I'm not going to sit there and blame someone else. I'm going to adjust my driving. So I'm going to either have to tighten up that spot where I'm not giving them that spot, or I need to stay to the outside and give them the inside lane and just, you know, accept they're going to overtake me there if they have a better run. So, you know, again, it's adjusting how you drive and the situations that you're putting yourself into. Seeing the cars, you know, people say worry about things in front of you. I'm always worried about things behind me. I need to analyze more what's going on behind me. And, you know, racing in VR and PSVR2, you know, we kind of have, I feel like we kind of have a disadvantage because we don't, when you're racing on a flat screen in GT7, you actually see, like, I think it turns your screen like a red on the side or something, knowing that there's a car there. But we have to actually look around. We have to, like, while we're coming into a turn, we have to worry about our braking zone. We have to look in our radar, and we have to try to look in our mirrors and turn our head. We have no other visual signs. We have no spotters that a car is there. And our view might be very different. So, you know, we have to take that all into consideration. And it's hard when you're coming into a turn, into a braking zone, trying to make sure you hit your apex, hit the turn in the right spot, that you're looking at the radar as well. So to me, if I don't see a car, you know, in my side, in my peripheral vision, if I don't see you by that window, if you're not in front of me, I'm assuming you're going to slow down and you're going to let me take that spot because I can't see you. You're squeezing in there. Your car is not in front of me to take that spot. But a lot of drivers don't think that way. So I had to kind of readjust the way I drive. Again, it's all about blaming myself, keeping myself out of those situations. And as I was doing that, and as I was trying to just analyze, and I apologize to anyone that I wrecked while I was racing, not on purpose, and I don't think I really wrecked anyone bad, but there was definitely some bumping. You know, my safety rating, thank God, is still an S, but it was a struggle for me to really master parts of this track. I definitely improved over time, but you know, the blame comes down on me. But then we suffer, you know, when we have these bad nights. You know, like, it's so weird with sim racing. No other game really does this. If you do bad in a game, like other games, other multiplayer games, like, it's over, you're done. You lose a game, you're done. But when you lose in sim racing, you don't just lose. It's kind of like a personal thing. You kind of feel bad. You kind of feel like you start analyzing, what did I do wrong here? What should I have done here? Oh, this guy thinks I hit him on purpose. I should have made this move. I should have done that. And it kind of sticks with you for like the night. I don't get that from any other game that I play, where it kind of affects me after the fact. When a game is over, yeah, you might say, oh, I could have done this to win this or whatever. But sim racing is such a different feeling. But for me, you know, a lot of times I would say pack it in, come back another day. And that might be a better move for you when you come in fresh, because sometimes if you race too much, you're getting overly frustrated, and you might be more aggressive, and you might just overdrive, and you might not be able to calm yourself down. But for me, I had to calm myself down. So it depends on the type of person you are, but I was able to calm myself down. I was able to analyze what I'm doing wrong. How can I improve my race? Where am I going wrong? Where am I losing spots? Where am I not braking early enough? A lot of times it's always that you're braking too late. You're overrunning things, especially when the cars are in front of you. So you have to consciously really think about it and be like, where do I need to start braking earlier? Where do I need to close the gap where cars are squeezing in there? Where do I need to give them more space? And you know, how do I just race a little closer but further apart as well? So depending on the type of person you are, that might work for you. If you're able to keep you cool, stay calm, be like, and the biggest thing is don't worry about your driver rating. So the first thing I had to throw out was, you know, I don't care that I would go from an A down to a B. That's not the thing. I just want to run a good race. I want to improve, and I want to find where I'm making mistakes and race better going forward. And for me, it was to continue racing in that capacity on the same night to hopefully improve. And, you know, here I started in P10, I believe, and I moved up, you know, and I moved up some places up to a P8. It was a good finish coming right after a win. So I had 2 good races, and then it's kind of like after you establish a better race and you're doing a little better, maybe that's the time to be like, all right, end on a good note, call it quits here. I was going to call it quits after my win, but I just felt like I was a little more comfortable on the track, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna go one more here, see how it turns out. And it turned out pretty good. You know, a P8's a good finish. You know, I moved up in you know, it gave me a boost up. So, you know, I moved up in the higher Bs. I'll be back to an A eventually again. But you know, it's just sim racing just is that thing. It's a very mental, it's a mental game. It's crazy. It's a game, but it mentally gets us. But let me know your guys, you know, how you guys deal with it when you guys have those really bad nights. I have lots of them. So that's how I basically try to deal with it and just improve and get better. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, thumb it up, subscribe. We'll catch you on the next one. We out of here. Peace.